back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you guys my recipe for sugar cake. So before I get into the whole cooking process, I'm going to go over all of the ingredients that I'll be using today. So please keep watching. What I'm going to need to make my sugar cake today is some freshly grated coconut, and I did post a video a while back showing you guys how to open the coconuts and grate it yourself at home. I also have some evaporated milk, some granulated sugar to go ahead and sweeten my sugar cake. I also have some ground ginger, some freshly ground nutmeg, and a little bit of salt just to balance out the sweetness. And I also have some red food coloring. Now the red food coloring is optional, but sugar cake traditionally is red, so this is why I'm adding it in. And as you guys can see, I'm using the powdered version, but if you wanted, you could go ahead and use the liquid version. So let's get into the cooking process now. The first step in making sugar cake is to go ahead and parch or dry roast your coconut in a pot. So what I've done here is I've heated up my pot on a medium heat, and it's nice and warm now, so I'm going to go ahead and add in all of my coconut. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just keep stirring until your coconut gets a little golden brown and until it dries out. While you're parching your coconut, you're going to want to make sure that you keep stirring so this way it doesn't burn at the bottom. And I really feel that this step is necessary because the coconut sort of needs to be cooked before you add in all your liquids. So this is why I do this step. My coconut's been parching here for exactly 15 minutes now. And as I said before, it was on a medium-low heat. It depends on your stove and how hot it gets. I just wanted to show you guys that it took on a really nice golden brown color. It's not white like it was before. And it's dried out a lot. You guys are going to notice that it starts to feel pretty light when you start to mix it around. So at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my nutmeg, my grated ginger, and my salt. And of course you guys can give this mixture a taste when it's almost done to see if there's enough spice in there if you want to add more, or you can go ahead and add a little less to begin with if you don't like much of these spices inside. And you want to just give that a quick mix. After about 30 seconds of mixing, once your spices start to get fragrant, you're going to want to start adding in your sugar. So I'm just adding in all of my sugar. Now, this looks like a lot of sugar, but with sugar cake you need to add enough so this way it can bind it together and it can hold together in the end. If you don't add enough sugar, it's not going to stay together. And it is a lot of coconut that I'm using too, so that's the reason I'm using so much sugar. So you just want to give that a mix, and you just want to stir it around and mix for about 30 seconds. And you're going to notice that the sugar might start to melt and it's going to start to get a little juicy. Once you see the mixture start to get a little wet and the coconut starts getting juicy again and moist, you're going to want to go ahead and add in all of your milk. And if you didn't want to use evaporated milk, you could go ahead and use regular whole milk. I would not use like 1% or 2% because the sugar cake really needs that fat and the creaminess to go ahead and hold together when it's done. So you guys are going to see that it's sort of like a big liquidy mess right now, but we're going to keep boiling it until it gets really thick and it's ready to spoon out onto a platter. So I'm going to raise my heat to a medium high now from the medium low that I had it at, and I'm going to boil it here for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes or until it gets very thick. And before I go, I also want to add in my red food coloring. Now you can add as much or as little as you'd like. I like my sugar cake to be pretty deep red, so I'm just going to mix this in and see if I need any more. This was about a teaspoon that I added in here. So I think this is good for me. It's pretty deep red. So I'm going to go ahead and let this boil, and you want to keep stirring it while it's boiling so this way it doesn't start to burn or catch at the bottom. This is what the sugar cake mixture looks like after it was boiling on a medium heat for about 15 minutes now. And as you guys can see, it's still liquidy, so it has a little whiles more to go. But I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's almost done. The mixture for my sugar cake has been cooking for exactly 30 minutes and it's done now. You're also going to know that it's done when you start to stir and it gets really hard to mix because it starts to hold together in the pot. And then also on the sides of the pot, it starts to get a little crystallized because of that sugar and milk that was cooking while the whole mixture was boiling. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start dropping it onto my pan to start cooling. And I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Alright everyone, I have the finished sugar cakes here. After I spoon them out onto my platters, I let them cool for about an hour. You could let them cool longer if you'd like, but I just wanted to show you guys what they look like once they're done cooling. You're going to notice that the tops start to get a little crusty, and that's because of the sugar starting to crystallize over them. And I'm just going to break one open. You're going to see that they're nice and chewy on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste for you guys. And it tastes amazing. It's not too sweet, but it definitely has enough sugar, so this way it held together like I was saying before. And the amount of ginger and nutmeg is just perfect inside. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And please comment down below on what you guys would like me to make next. Once again, thank you guys for watching.